Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. I thank you guys for joining me and hanging in there with me, as I am not as consistent as I would want to be. But I actually recorded about 2 other videos this year that just didn't make it to my channel. One, I realized it was like heavily packed with information that I've shared on the recap that I did from 2023, and I just didn't rewatch it to see what was new information. And the other was like a reaction video to the Grammys, because I was really happy for some of the winners this year, but it was just too late to post it by the time I did. Sadly, I recorded that video the day after the Grammys hit, or maybe even late that night. I'm not even sure. But I did not watch the Grammys. I watched like clips here and there and recaps and performances. I know, just to mention, Miley Cyrus's Flowers. That was my song. I was really happy for Coco Jones and a couple others. But anyways, nonetheless, that video didn't make it. So we're not going to drag that right now. I did want to just give a quick reaction on Love is Blind season 6. Yeah, so I had my speculations on what was going to happen for the reunion. The reunion has already aired, but my prediction was that Chelsea and Jimmy might have tried to make it work. And I am hearing that they did, like 4 days after he broke it off with her. And my prediction for AD and Clay was that, they didn't get back together as people were spreading rumors that they were back together. I didn't believe that they were back together. However, I believe that they continued to hook up. And by the interviews that AD has been doing, or the interview that she just did, it sounds like that may be the case, because she's like, oh, we're just like flirtatious friends. Okay. Nonetheless, I think AD needs to leave that alone. I have conflicting feelings about Clay. A lot of people think he's like this F-boy or a dog, which could be the case, but I do feel that some of his reactions on the show were genuine. I do think that, he would have wanted to make things work with AD. However, I do think that he's super immature, first off. And he even owned up to that. And that's what I can appreciate about him, because he's saying it. Now, mind you, and a lot of people are saying this, he may just have been saying those things as an excuse, for why he is not ready to get married. So he continued to say those things to AD, giving her hints, and she just did not catch the red flags. And funny thing, she said that in the opening interviews, like, yeah, I ignore red flags or whatever. And she definitely did the entire time. But I believe that Clay was genuine about like wanting to better himself, but I also just don't feel like AD is the woman for him, because this is my speculation around men, like just watching men in my family. Like, I've seen men be like just out there doing their thing, but they meet the woman of their dreams, and it's like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to satisfy this woman and be better for her. And I don't think Clay was there with AD. There was probably some things that he really did like about her, but I don't think he drove her to be, or I don't think she drove him to be that better man that he claims that he needs to be in order to be ready for marriage. And that's just what it all boils down to. Now, going to that, this is advice that I give to many of my female friends, advice to myself when I'm like trying to consider whether this guy really wants to be with me or not, because I've had to do that. Just look at his actions, and acts of services is my highest on love language. So I go by actions, not words or gifts or any of that stuff. Like, it's what I see you doing that means the most to me. So if I see a guy really trying to do everything to please me, and when I say like he's listening to any feedback that I'm giving him, like for instance, if I say, hey, I like doing XYZ, and he plans a date doing XYZ, or hey, I really like it when this happens, and he does that consistently, like it shows me that he's making an effort in some type of way, and that just makes me fall for you. So that's just, I think, look for that. Like, see if he's actually changing himself to be with you or to please you, and not just, in the first couple of weeks, because I think all men do that. They put on this persona, they try to be everything in your dreams just to get you, and then as soon as they got you, that stuff just falls away, because it's not them, it's not you. Now when you're actually doing it and changing your lifestyle to do these things, it's different. But just trying to do it to catch this woman's attention, no, don't fall for it. That's why you just don't tell a man, like, what do you like? When he starts asking, what do you normally like from a guy, or what type of dates? Like, they're going to do all of those things in the beginning. And then when it falls off, then you're going to be like, well, what happened? Why don't you do this for me anymore? Because he was never that guy to do those things. He was never a romantic guy to begin with. He never knew how to express himself before. And now you're expecting this, and he just doesn't know. That kind of, now that we're talking about all of this stuff, I know some years ago I was like, I'm never doing dating apps again. Like, and it's really not on my list at all. It's not high on my list. But I don't mind kind of exploring it just to see, even though I don't have any expectations, but just to see what's out there. And I will say this. I had a number of friends who have been saying that they're trying online dating, or they want to try it, and I'm like, don't do it. But I've heard people have real success on it. And I mean, it's to each his own, but I think it's probably 1 in 10 chance that you're going to meet a decent person that's probably your match. It happens for some, but it's not going to happen for everyone. And I just hate that the world has gotten to a place where we have to rely on dating apps and online, where we can't see people face to face, in order to meet people and find who you're compatible with. I mean, it's great for a number of things, especially if you are open to moving somewhere to be closer to someone, or, I guess that's it. If you're willing to move to wherever this person is, and you can connect with them via online, some dating app or whatever, that's kind of cool. But most times it's guys right in the same area as you. Y'all could be walking past each other on the sidewalk. You could be in the same bars. You could be working at the same job, in the same office. but you have to meet them. They're not going to approach you until you're on this online dating app. And that is a joke to me.